Rangers ballpark in Arlington. The scene, the fans filing in, the Ranger faithful looking for their ball club to win their second straight over the Cleveland Indians tonight. And welcome in, everyone. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Steve Busby. Glad to have you along for this Wednesday night of Rangers baseball. And Ryan Dempster on the hill tonight looking for his 5th consecutive win in a Ranger uniform and against a club that he had success against, Tom.
He had real good success a couple of starts ago. In fact, on the road trip, he pitched really nicely against Cleveland and then against Kansas City. One thing Ryan has done in his last 4 starts, he's located his pitches, especially his off-speed pitches. He's kept his splitter and his slider down, a little bit out of the strike zone. It's made his fastball effective. Early in his Ranger career, he had a couple of starts where he didn't have command and he struggled, but he's cut down on the home run ball. Last 4 starts, he's only given up 1. First 3 starts, he gave up 5. That's made a big difference. Opponents have hit under 200 against him, and his ERA is under 2.
Well, the Rangers battling a very stubborn Oakland team in the standings, and they look to maintain at least their 3-game lead tonight with a win over Cleveland. Elvis Andrus and company taking on the Cleveland Indians tonight on Fox Sports Southwest. On Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by the Built Ford Tough Truck Event. Enjoy huge savings on America's best-selling truck for 35 years running. Ford is the best in Texas. Now, a gorgeous night here in Arlington. Ranger fans out in full force, and they're hoping to see the Texas Rangers win their 2nd in a row on this homestand. And before we get things underway, let's head down and say hello to Emily Jones. Emily?
Well, guys, we've seen some of the youngsters for this Texas Rangers ball club get their shot here and there since September. Call-ups. Ron Washington says they'll get their shots here and there, but don't expect too much of them down the stretch.
You know, we're not in a development department right now. You know, we're not experimenting, developing. We're trying to win ball games, and I'm going to win the ball games with the guys I put out there. And I will get an opportunity somewhere along the way to get those guys out there like I did Pro 4. He got 2 already. I got a chance yesterday to get Martine in. I'm looking for a chance to get Snyder in there. And, you know, but right off the bat, I'm going to play the guys that got us here.
Ron Washington with tonight's Geico quote of the game, and he said he will try throughout the rest of this homestand to get his regulars either a half day or a full day off. But after that, as you know, the Rangers in the midst of a pennant chase, and Wash trying to put the best team out on the field. And obviously, of course, guys always go with that Wash gut as we've come to know it.
Yeah, you're right, Emily. That's an important point for us to keep in mind, too, that they are trying to win ball games right now. It's not a popularity contest, and they become popular with the fans by winning games, and that's what Ron Washington has done for the last 6 years in Arlington. Ryan Dempster taking the hill. He is looking for his 5th consecutive win in a Ranger uniform. Comes in 5-1, and here's the lineup tonight that he will face, is put forth by Manny Acta. Shin-Soo Choo, the right fielder, leads off. The second baseman, Jason Kipnis, bats second. Carlos Santana is next. Michael Brantley is the cleanup hitter, and he plays center field. The DH tonight is Russ Kanzler. Batting 6th, playing third base, Lonnie Chisenhall. Casey Kochman plays at first. He bats 7th. Hitting 8th, playing shortstop, Brent Lillibridge. And Ezekiel Carrera is in left field tonight. He bats 9th.
And we'll check out Ryan Dempster, the scouting report for Ryan. As a Ranger, 5-1. Got his ERA down to 4.36 because he's pitched well 4 straight times. He's won 4 straight starts. Strikeout to walk ratio is nice. Home runs don't look that good at 6, but it's only been 1 in his last 4 starts. Opponent's batting average in his last 4 starts has been less than 200. So he's on a good roll. His Ranger starts are headed in the right direction, and it's coming at a great time with 3 weeks left in the season. You need a good start from a Ranger every time they go out there. The other thing, Buzz, when you look at the standings, I think a lot of people just think it's a foregone conclusion that the Rangers will win the West. Oakland's hanging in there. Yeah. It's only a 3-game lead, and we play the A's 7 times. So you can't, if you're Wash, experiment with a lineup. You got to play the lineups that you think give you the best chance to win.
And there are the Western Division standings as we interplay tonight. Rangers with a 3-game lead over Oakland. Oakland beat Los Angeles last night. So the Angels now 7.5 back. Defensively tonight, David Murphy in left, Hamilton in center, Nelson Cruz in right. Moreland, Kinsler, Andrews, and Beltre. From first to third, Giovanni Soto handling his former Cub teammate, Ryan Dempster. Umpiring crew tonight, Chris Conroy calls the balls and strikes. Mark Carlson at first base, the crew chief Angel Hernandez at second, and Ed Hickox is at third. Set to get underway as Ryan Dempster toes the slab. The first pitch to Shin-Soo Choo is a bit low for ball 1. Choo steps in hitting at .279 for the season. 15 home runs, 54 driven in for the Indians right fielder. On the outside corner, and that evens things. This is Shin-Soo Choo's 81st start in the leadoff spot. And as you saw in the pregame, or hope you did, he's hitting .310 as a leadoff man. 2 balls and 1 strike.
If you've got some middle of the order guys, which right now it's debatable whether Cleveland does or not, but if you do, and you have the luxury of batting Choo leadoff, you've got an excellent leadoff guy. We talked about him in the pregame show. His on-base percentage is close to 400, and he's got power. He can run. Good all-around ball player. The problem with the Indians is Choo is probably their best first-place hitter, second-place hitter, third-place hitter, fourth-place hitter.
2-2 pitch is fouled back, and we'll try it again. Yeah, he's plainly their best hitter.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
They've got to develop some power in the middle of the lineup, and that's not a secret.
And it probably wouldn't be surprising to see the Indians listen to offers for Choo from some clubs that have some prospects or people that are pretty close to getting to the big leagues. They might offer for him. 2-2 pitch, call strike 3.
Well, it came back just enough to catch the corner and catch Choo looking. Yeah, I think that might be true, Buzz. They could probably get a pretty good package of players for him. Dempster brings that fastball right back to the inside corner.
Well, that's a classic pitch, and we've seen so many veterans. Kevin Millwood comes to mind. Greg Maddux, when he was going well.
Yeah. Right-handers
that have that pitch down that can really freeze left-handed hitters. So 1 away. Here's Jason Kipnis, the second baseman. The pitch on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Gipnis 2 for 3 last night. See, the average is 257. Dempster's next pitch is pop foul. Over to take a look is Soto and Beltre, but they'll both run out of room as that ball back in the third row over the Indians dugout on the third base side. Gipnis having a good road trip for the Indians. Indians finishing up an 11-game road trip. The last 3 here in Texas. Gipnis has gone 8 for 28. Dempster back to him, the 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging.
That is some kind of pitch. He's got an excellent delivery for that pitch. The hitter swings and misses at that before the ball ever gets there, and his delivery really sells that pitch. You think it's coming in faster, you think it's coming in higher, and you get right there and you go, "Oop, nice try."
Looked like somebody on home plate had a string tied to it and pulled it straight down.
Yanked it right down.
A cartoon pitch. So 2 punch outs to begin things here for Ryan Dempster, and now Carlos Santana, the switch hitting second baseman, stands in. Check swing, didn't mean to go around, but he did. It's 0-1. Santana, pretty good power numbers. 15 home runs, 64 driven in. And the pitch on the inside corner, 0-2. Boy, Dempster. You want to know what the definition of pounding a strike zone is? Just look up Ryan Dempster right here. First inning, he is doing nothing but throwing strikes. Only 2 out of the strike zone in the first 11 pitches he has thrown.
Yeah, right now Santana's going, okay, splitter, slider. I know he's got a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Is he going to show me a fastball, or Mitch is going to get another glove at first base with a little delay?
Maybe that's his 2-strike glove.
He'll be ready. So if you're a hitter right now, you know Dempster's not going to throw at 95, but after the off-speed pitches, it might look like 95 if he pops a fastball.
Nope. 0-2 pitch, got it. Wow. That thing going straight down. We'll strike him out. First inning for Ryan Dempster. All 3 gone on punch out. Half an inning in the books. Indians nothing. Rangers coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. His first inning. In order went the Indians, and now the Ranger lineup tonight. Ron Washington going with a very familiar group of 9. Ian Kinsler leads off. Elvis Andrews bats second. Center fielder Josh Hamilton is hitting third. The cleanup man is the third baseman Adrian Beltre. Nelson Cruz in right field, back after having the night off. Michael Young hitting sixth. He's the DH. David Murphy in left. Catching and hitting eighth, Giovanni Soto, and Mitch Moreland at first base batting ninth.
Take a look at Genmar Gomez. The Rangers have seen him twice this year. 5-7 overall. 329 opponent's batting average with men in scoring position has hurt him. 2 starts against the Rangers have been okay. He's won both of them and pitched pretty well. Good movement on the sinker.
That first pitch to Ian Kinsler is strike one. Kinsler, you can see, has not been able to solve Genmar Gomez. 0 for 6. A wave and a miss at the breaking ball. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Ian at 263, 16 home runs, 68 driven in. The 24-year-old right-hander from Caracas, Venezuela, Genmar Gomez. Back to the plate he comes. He's just off the outside corner. That's about where his fastball tops out, 90, 91 miles an hour. Not an extremely hard thrower, but very, very good at changing speeds. And as Tom told you, that very heavy sinking fastball. Hard to get any lift on it. 2-2 now, the count. Gomez working from the first base side of the pitching rubber. Into the wind, and the pitch to Kinsler. Rifle shot fair down the third baseline, headed toward the corner. Carrera over to cut it off, and he can't. He has to play the carom. And Ian Kinsler, with his 40th double of the year, leads off the Ranger first inning.
That just shows the kind of hitter that Ian is. He loves the ball in. And Gomez tries to get him twice with sinkers away, then tries to run one in on his fists, and he just turns on it and hits a rope by Lonnie Chisenhall down the line for a double. Couldn't get him to bite at the sinker away, and he was all over it when he brought it inside.
So Ian now just one short of his career high in doubles. He has 40. He is at second base, nobody out. And here's the Indian killer, Elvis Andrus. Elvis at 295. Both cornermen are up for the Tribe, and Elvis looks at strike one. Casey Kochman at first base, and Lonnie Chisenhall at third. Elvis showing bunt, takes it low and inside, and the count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, generally, this is a place where Elvis will bunt, hope to get a base hit, be satisfied with the sacrifice. Chisenhall is definitely expecting it at third base, as is Kochman at first base. But if Kochman comes in too far, Elvis can slap one right by him, too.
Yep.
Which we've seen him do that.
And Kochman playing a ways off the line, too. So there's quite a bit of space between the Indians' first baseman and the bag. It's 16, 17 feet.
Well, the way Elvis has developed as a hitter and the way he can handle the bat, if Kochman charges, that's not a bad idea to try to do that.
Gomez, a long look into Santana. Right-hander still peering in. Now he's ready to work. A check of Kinsler. And the 1-1 pitch. That's on the outside corner. Oh, we have seen Elvis shaking his head at a lot of calls in the last several weeks. They're a little frustrated at home plate. It hasn't affected his ability to drive in runners, though, when they're in scoring position. 354 is the average this year. Rangers come in hitting 281 as a team. Now the 1-2 pitch. Loop to right field. That's a base hit. Kinsler being held at third, as up with the ball quickly as Brantley, and he gets it back into the cutoff man. But Elvis delivers a looping drive into right center field, and the Rangers have runners at the corners with nobody out for Josh Hamilton.
And Elvis got rid of the hit early tonight, Buzz. Yep. Didn't want you to have to worry about him. Didn't want any suspense. First time up, slider down, and he knocks it right into center field. Sets up a nice opportunity for Josh right here.
I think that's one of the things that Gomez needs to learn, is when a guy's trying to hit the ball the other way. An off-speed pitch is not necessarily good when you're ahead in the count. Guys get in that mode, and they wait on the ball much better. First and third, here's Josh. And the pitch outside to him, the changeup from Gomez. 1 ball, no strikes. Hamilton, a career high and Major League best 40 home runs. 119 RBI, 2 ahead of Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers for the Major League lead. Hamilton, a foul tip at home plate out in front of that off-speed pitch. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. See, Josh in the last 4 games back in a little bit of a funk offensively. Gomez, a check of Andrus at first. Rip and a miss on the breaking ball, and it's 1-2 to Hamilton.
Josh has a huge hole to shortstop. We've got 3 guys on the right side of second base. The third baseman has to stay fairly close to third because Ian is on third base. Any kind of a ground ball past the pitcher on the third base side is going to be a base hit.
We'll bluff to third, back to first, and nobody biting on that bait. One and 2 the count. Gomez in some early hot water against the Rangers here, and Hamilton trying to make him pay for it. Just off the outside corner. That will even the count now to Josh at 2-2. Saw the snapshot statistic. Hamilton in the last 4 games. You go back over the last 33 games, though, Josh, a 300 hitter in that time span. Pulled on the right side weakly. They get the force at second. No chance to double him up. In to score is Ian Kinsler. And Hamilton with his 120th RBI puts the Rangers on top 1-0.
Well, Josh has had a tremendous season in the third spot in the Ranger lineup, and one of the things that has helped his RBI total are situations like that with Ian and Elvis on base, running the bases, man on third base, less than 2 outs, where it doesn't require a hit to get a run batted in. All Josh has to do basically is put the ball in play, which with 2 strikes he was able to do.
And Ian Kinsler scoring his 94th run of the season. That's second in the American League. First pitch to Adrian Beltre is a breaking ball that's outside for ball 1. Adrian having another superlative September. Well, he just made a habit of that the last couple of years. Belted to left field. Going back, way back. Goodbye. Another September swat for Adrian Beltre. The Rangers lead 3-0.
Well, what a season Beltre's had. He is putting the finishing touches on a good season and turning it into an excellent season. Zeroing in on 100 RBIs. He's over 30 home runs. He's in the top 10 in hitting. He's just such a steady player. Boy, he comes to play every day. And if he doesn't make it happen offensively, he'll make a play to save a game defensively. And when you hang something in that spot to him in the streak he's on right now, watch out.
Well, Beltre's 32nd home run. The Rangers now with 176 home runs in the year. Nelly Cruz takes way inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Did he catch it? He must have. I don't see the ball. He's got a big glove and gets a kiss from his wife. He must have caught it. That's one happy guy out there.
That's a happy guy on the bench, too. Adrian Beltre, that infectious smile that he has. 1-2 pitch to Cruz. Breaking ball in the dirt, and the count is even.
There he is. Nice play.
That 32 home runs, by the way, matching last year's total for Adrian Beltre, his second most in his career. Little tapper. Nice play by Gomez. Off balance jump throw just in time to get Cruz.
Oh, we've seen Elvis and Jeter make that play. First time we've seen a pitcher make that play. Nice play.
And Gomez bouncing off the mound and making a very athletic play to get Nelly Cruz, that's out number 2, and Michael Young coming up.
Can't get a lot on it, but he throws it accurately. You really don't have to worry where you throw it. If Kochman can reach it, he'll usually catch it.
Yeah, he will.
Very good defensive first baseman.
That play by Gomez might have had Manny Acta's heart in his throat for a moment. You hate to see a good young pitcher making a play like that, but we got it done. Check swing on the appeal down to Mark Carlson. Said no swing, and Michael Young now with a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Young 2 out of 5, as you'll note, in his career against Gomez. Fouls the next pitch off, and it's 2-1. Michael joined the 60 RBI club last night. And one of just 11 players with those numbers in the last several years. On to first, that'll do it. The Rangers are retired, but Adrian Beltre gets the job done. A 2-run blast. The Rangers score 3 times on 3 hits and leave no one. We're going to the second. Rangers 3, Indians nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. And Ryan Dempster knows how to work with. These Ranger fans applauding Dempster and his teammates, leading 3-0 after the first inning. And Dempster now will face the middle third of the Cleveland order, and that begins with Michael Brantley. First pitch is high for ball 1. Brantley came on last night as a pinch hitter. That was when Ron Washington brought in the right-hander Tanner Scheppers to face him in a critical 8th inning situation. Scheppers ended up striking him out. Brantley yanks one foul. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Ron Washington said, sometimes you just have to go away from what conventional wisdom says. He had Michael Kirkman, the left-hander, out there, but he said he wanted Scheppers to come in with that electric breaking ball to see if he couldn't work to Brantley.
Well, that was a genius move then, because that's exactly what struck Brantley out, was the breaking ball.
Yeah, and that's what Ron had said, that their reports have Brantley as less effective against good breaking balls, and he's a very good fastball hitter. And Ron said, I just went with the guy that had the best breaking ball going. 1-2 pitch.
That's good teamwork. It's a good scouting report. It's a good managerial decision, and it's great execution by Tanner Scheppers and Giovanni Soto.
Now, having said that, I have to add that Ron Washington wasn't real sure as he was making that move. He had to go back and ask Mike Maddox.
That's okay.
Mike, do you think I did the right thing? He said, we'll find out. And Tanner Scheppers got him to say, yes, you did the right thing.
I guess if all big league managers are honest, and no one's more honest than Ron Washington, he will tell you there's a lot of times he makes a move where he's not totally sure it's the right one, and you sit back and you hope it is.
Ground ball to the right side, cut off by Moreland. Overhand toss, and nice job by Dempster getting over there. Well, Bradley out. Russ Kanzler coming up, and let's welcome Jim Knox along this evening. Jim.
All right, thanks, Buzz. Ranger fans looking for another win tonight. You bet. Community Corner this evening. We're talking about the Rangers Alumni Golf Tournament that took place on Monday. Nolan Ryan, Jim Sundberg, a couple of the alums on hand. Hey, it was a great event. 140 golfers took part in this, and they got to rub elbows with Nolan Ryan, Jim Sundberg, and a lot of other Rangers alumni on hand. Proceeds went to the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. To find out more, log on to texasrangers.com/foundation. Hi there, huh, guys? Having a good time?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Buzz.
All right, Jim, thank
Buzz,
you.
don't tell Nolan I said this, okay?
Okay.
I think Ruth has a better swing than he does.
Oh, he probably knows that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, you don't tell him I said it, too.
All right. Okay, I won't tell him that.
Okay. That was Ruth, by the way.
Yeah.
Hitting that golf ball. For
She
people
does
that are
have
wondering why I said that.
She does have a good swing.
swing.
Russ Kanzler, the DH up there. Kanzler in limited duty, hitting .294, and he takes a strike to even the count from Dempster.
I used to like the commercials that Nolan and Ruth did, where Nolan pitched to her.
Yeah.
She definitely played some baseball before.
Yep. Foul back. And Dempster with a 1-2 pitch.
There's Ruth.
Wow,
look at that. That's a nice swing. Can't beat that.
And finishing it off like a Ryan fastball. Oh, Beltre, a dive to his left, scrambles up and throws it. What else can this guy do? A 2-run home run, a full-out headlong dive, taking a base hit away from Kanzler.
You know, Buzz, as you come down to the last couple of weeks of the season, I think Adrian's kind of in the same situation where Michael Young was last year. When you start talking about most valuable player candidates, there's some great candidates who have some great numbers, but when you get a chance to watch Beltre every day and see what he has meant to the team, his attitude, the way he goes about his business, the Gold Glove defense, the clutch hitting, he deserves mention when you start talking about most valuable players.
There's no doubt about that. So 2 gone. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall, and he takes a strike. Yeah, and, you know, I knew Adrian Beltre was a good player before he came to the Rangers. I didn't know how good he was.
Yeah, I mean, I could say the exact same thing. I remember watching him in Seattle thinking, well, he had that huge year with the Dodgers.
Right.
They're not getting exactly what they paid for. But then the more you watched him, when you saw how hard he played, the defense he played, the way he bared down on every at-bat, you say no matter what they're paying him and no matter what the production, they're getting 100% effort, and I don't think they would ever regret a dime that they paid for him. And since that time, you know, he's gone to the Red Sox and had a big year. The Rangers gave him a huge contract when they couldn't sign Cliff Lee, and thank goodness the Rangers couldn't sign Cliff Lee, because we're not where we are right now without Adrian Beltre, that's for sure.
Yeah, good point. Last year or this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't go to the World Series without Beltre. Last year, and we won't go this year. We wouldn't go this year if we didn't have him either.
Lonnie Chisenhall with the first base hit. Matter of fact, the first base runner given up by Ryan Dempster tonight. A 2-out single. Casey Kochman now to the plate. Kochman, a .226 hitter. Let's go down to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, I know I keep talking about it, but you can't say enough about what Adrian Beltre does in that clubhouse. It's much like Michael Young as far as the instant accountability, the credibility that he lends to his teammates, just the level of accountability that is present when he's there is remarkable. And I just don't think that gets noticed enough, and maybe it's because he doesn't do a whole lot of interviews. He is a softer spoken guy, but there is no one that's regulating things in that clubhouse more than Adrian Beltre.
That's just one more good reason, Em, why he deserves to be mentioned the way we're talking about him. Thanks for that.
Dempster will drive Chisenhall back with a toss to first. Kochman, a dozen home runs, driven in 50. He came on last night as a pinch hitter and hit a bullet right back through the middle off of Koji Wahara. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Kochman, the veteran, and having a bit of a downturn, and well, that fits right in with everybody else on the Cleveland Indian Ball Club. To be quite honest, they have really struggled since the All-Star break. Pitch outside, and the count is even now at 2-2. Cleveland, the second worst record since the All-Star break, second worst only to the Houston Astros, and the Astros are catching them. Indians coming into play tonight, 15-42 since the Midsummer Classic. 2-2 pitch. Line to left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Murphy over to cut it off. Chisenhall puts the brakes on as he rounds second. Yeah, the Indians now back-to-back 2-out singles off of Dempster. They have 2 on and 2 out for Brent Lillibridge.
2 straight hits after Adrian took a hit away from Russ Kanzler. Kochman had a big hit for Cleveland last night, pinch hitting against Koji Uehara. Drove one into center field to knock in a run.
The Lillibridge steps in. Brett last night 0 for 2 in that first ball game of the series. Did have a walk and came around to score a run. Lillibridge, though, hitting just 194, as you can see. Up there now with runners in scoring position. First pitch to him is off the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes. The Indians as a team since the All-Star break are hitting .203 with runners in scoring position. So it has been a team-wide slump. And Brent Lillibridge falling into that category too. A whip, wave, and a miss. And the count is even at 1-1. Cleveland club as a whole hitting .229 in the second half of the season and scoring just a little bit over 3 runs per game. And Manny Acta talking about the month of August, which was miserable for the Tribe when we were up there, said he had never been through anything in his baseball life like the month of August that Cleveland went through. 5 wins and 24 losses. And Manny's been around a while. I mean, he's
a pretty bad month.
You know, he's managed at the major league level, obviously, the minor league level. He's also managed in winter ball, and he said that's the worst time that he's ever been through. 2-1 pitch, high and tight, spins Lillibridge around, and the count moves to 3-1. Lillibridge played for both Sox teams this year. Started out with the White Sox and went over to the Red Sox, and now he's in Cleveland. Dempster okays the sign, a check of the runners. 3-1 pitch. It's fouled back. Lillibridge losing his bat as he waved at that pitch that was out away from him. Probably swung at ball 4. Minnesota out to have a chat with Ryan Dempster, and Lillibridge retrieving his lumbers back in the batter's box.
Yeah, the first inning was incredible. 3 strikeouts. Something like 13 or 14 pitches and only 2 balls, but not quite the same command for Ryan here in the second inning. Trying to get Lillibridge right here to strand a couple of runners.
Chisenhall at the bottom of your screen, leading from second. Kochman from first. They're on the move. 3-2 pitch. Call strike 3. Lillibridge tied up at home plate like a rib roast. He is gone. So are the Indians. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. 1.5 in the books. It's the Rangers 3, the Indians nothing. Folks, to celebrate 40 years of baseball in the Metroplex, Metro PCS is giving away 40 Samsung 4G LTE phones. Enter to win at all participating locations. Metro PCS, wireless for all. David Murphy to start things off against Genmar Gomez. And Murph, a line drive, base hit to right field. He finally found a hole. Murphy hit a couple of drives last night that the center fielder, Ezekiel Carrera, took extra bases away from him. And Murph decided not to hit it quite so hard. Found a gap in right center field. He's aboard with a leadoff single.
Not a terrible pitch. It's kind of sinking down and away from David. He waited on it, got the good part of the bat on it, too.
Kind of took your advice from last night. Used that little flip shot out there.
Yep.
A 1 on, nobody out. Here is Giovanni Soto. And he looks at strike one from Gomez. Soto at 219, 3 home runs, 16 RBI. This is 33rd game in a Ranger uniform. 20 less than he played with the Cubs, and with Chicago he only had 14 RBI. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last 11 games, a little slow for Giovanni. Doing a great job, though, behind the plate handling the Ranger pitching staff. There goes Murphy. The hit and run was on. The pitch is swung on and missed, and Murphy is out from here to Grand Prairie. Now, with a hit and run, Murphy not trying to get a stealing jump to make sure, and well, that's the danger you run. Murph shot down, 1 away.
Yep, the pressure is on the hitter to make contact. And the pitch was such that Giovanni was unable to do that. And the result was obvious.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball from Gomez. And the Indian right-hander records his first strikeout. 2 gone here in the second. And Mitch Moreland coming up. Now the Rangers have won 4 of the first 7 meetings this year against Cleveland. Last night was the first meeting they had here in Arlington. Have tonight's game and 1 more. And Rangers trying to do well against the Tribe as far as putting a team away that's not playing very well. Sometimes a lot easier said than done. Moreland takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Ron Washington was commenting about about last night's ball game. He said, you know, you let a club that's struggling a bit into a ball game late, and you're asking for trouble. He said that was the one thing that he was concerned about with the Indians. Hit high in the air to left field, back near the warning track is Carrera. He steps onto the cinders as he makes the grab, and the side retired. Rangers, no runs, a hit, and nobody left. We have finished 2 in Arlington. Rangers 3, Indians nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Twilight here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Nice sized crowd on hand here tonight. Rangers creeping ever closer to passing the 3 million mark. It could happen as early as tomorrow night. And certainly if not tomorrow night, then Friday night. A bunt to start things off by Ezekiel Carrera, and it veers off into foul territory. That's one of the few balls we've seen, Tom, that actually hit the grass and went into foul territory. Most of them stayed fair.
They've either changed the slope or that had so much spin on it that it still spun foul. But you're right, most of the balls do stay fair.
Which is a pretty good thing, even with Adrian down there. That was a pretty good bunt, and Carrera has great speed.
Well, he acted like he wanted to bunt last night with Adrian at third base, so he's not afraid to try it.
0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike to Carrera. He's hitting the number 9 slot, a .253 hitter for the year. Home run, 5 driven in. As that on-base percentage would tell you, it doesn't walk a whole lot. 2-1 now the count. Ryan Dempster about ready to throw his 40th pitch of the night. 25 of the first 39 have been strikes. Next pitch is knee high right down the middle. 2-2 now. Dempster kicks into the wind, and the pitch is grounded off of Dempster right to Beltre, who recovers and throws him out.
Look like a pinball machine.
Now the Canadian-born Ryan Dempster making a great skate save, and the deflection right to Beltre, who barehanded it.
The Indians have had a couple of balls they've been robbed on. That looked like it was a base hit up the middle for sure. Ryan not only kicked it, he looked like he directed it right straight to Adrian.
Like a hockey goalie, deflecting that away from the net and right to his defenseman.
Smart kick.
There it is.
A little spin on it, though. Adrian had a barehanded.
Wow. A 1-5-3 on that put out. 1 gone, back to the top of the order for Shin-Soo Choo, and he takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Choo caught looking as he began proceedings here tonight. Fouls that next pitch back. No balls and 2 strikes. See Chew's season average at 279. He is now 1 out of 4 against Dempster with 3 strikeouts. A ball and 2 strikes. Dempster back to the plate. Loop to left field. That's going to be down for a base hit in front of David Murphy. So Chu just reaching out, poking it to left field. As a 1-out single. That's the 3rd hit now given up by Ryan Dempster this evening. So both Chu and Kochman last inning. Left-handed hitters going the other way with Dempster. Chu with good speed aboard at first. And Jason Kipnis, another left-handed hitter, stepping to the plate. He also was a strikeout victim in the first. Dempster will go first base way to drive Chu back. Might have seen Giovanni Soto giving that sign, that little flick of the thumb, and that's pretty much a universal sign that the bench wants you to throw to first so we can see what base runner's doing over there. Good breaking ball, comes back to the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Kipnis. Kipnis 13 home runs, 65 RBI. 65 RBI, the high water mark for the Indians this year. Dempster's next pitch. 1-1. Indians are 9th in the American League in batting with 247 team average. Runs, however, 13th in the league at 569 runs. That compares to the 720 the league leading Rangers have scored. Dempster again going first base way. Get this of that rather unorthodox way that he starts into his batting stance. Now it's more conventional. 1-1 pitch. Just missed down and away, and it's 2-1. Dempster from western British Columbia, about an hour and a half north of Vancouver. They didn't have a baseball team, a summer league baseball team. He had to drive clear down to Vancouver and played in the summer. Swing and a miss by Kipnis, and that evens the count. Tom Wiedenbauer, the first base coach, talking to Shin-Soo Choo over there as Mitch Moreland readies himself to hold the runner at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There goes Choo. The pitch is skied to left field, not very deep. Long run for Murphy toward the line. Murphy gets there, makes the catch, and Choo has to hustle back to first. He's there now with 2 outs for Carlos Santana. Well, folks, we were talking about the Rangers breaking $3 million. They will do it for the first time in franchise history this week, and Capital One will provide 40,000 Ranger t-shirts to fans in honor of the part they played in Texas Rangers history. It can happen tomorrow if you join us to support your Rangers against the Indians. Get tickets now at TexasRangers.com. Had a crowd of just shy of 35,000 last night. It looks to be just about the same here tonight. Ryan Dempster going to work again on Choo at first base. Carlos Santana, the final of the 3 consecutive strikeouts to end the first inning. One ball, no strikes. Rangers, as of tonight, by the way, have drawn 2,931,040 for the year. That's already the 3rd highest season attendance figure in franchise history. Dempster back to play. Choo on the run. Pitch inside. The throw is in time. They got it. Quick release by Giovanni Soto and a quick tag by Elvis Andrews. Choo shot down, and that'll do it for the Indians. No runs a hit, nobody left. 2.5 have gone by. Rangers leading the Indians 3-0. Mariners. It's a 2:05 game. And Budweiser presents Casey Donahue Band after the game. You can enjoy live Texas country right from your ballpark seat or upgrade to a field pass for only $10. Call 972-RANGERS or go to TexasRangers.com for tickets today. Bottom of the third inning. The Rangers coming to bat with the top of the order due up against Genmar Gomez. Ian Kinsler started things tonight by doubling to left, and he takes a breaking ball for strike one. You mentioned Ian with the double in the first, his 40th of the year. It's this one off the end of the bat out to Kipnis at second. And that's out number one. A little cue shot out there by Ian. He is retired. Elvis Andrus coming up. Right now, let's head back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a Mazda game break. Here's Leslie McCaskman. Leslie? Thank you, Leslie. You know, they had a big game. Remember, the Red Sox won last night. They knocked the Yankees out of sole possession of first. Coupled with the Baltimore win last night, and coming into play tonight, the Yankees and the Orioles tied. And right now, Baltimore tied with Tampa Bay at the bottom of the fifth. That has implications not only for the Eastern Division, but also the wild card. Pitch inside to Elvis, and the count goes to 1-1 That second wild card, you know, we thought it was going to make things a little more exciting, and it made things a lot more exciting this year. We got 5 teams that are vying for those 2 spots right now, within about 3 games of each other. Elvis a single to center field his first time up, so he has hit in 31 consecutive games, all the games that he has ever played against the Cleveland Indians.
Well, we've got a few shout outs tonight. Happy 94th birthday to Mary Rogers from Louisville. Actually, it was yesterday. We missed it. Happy birthday, Mary. Thanks for being such a great Ranger fan. Also, Walter Moore has a birthday today, an Arlington resident. Been a fan since the team came here. They've gone to every home game, he and his wife Leslie.
Kipnis charges. Nice off balance throw to get Elvis. That's out number 2.
I like Leslie's remark at the end. We have really enjoyed every game, so much more than we ever thought we would. We're hoping to go to all the postseason games too. And then to get well, hopefully for Chad Chapman, Martin High School graduate, going through some serious health problems right now. But he's a huge Ranger fan, watches every game. So Chad, I hope you're watching tonight. And we're thinking about you. I know you're going through some tough times right now. Glad you're able to watch Ranger baseball. And we remind everybody, well, first we'll thank everybody for all the things that were sent to us tonight. And remind you, if you want to view the things that were sent, you can go to the Fox Sports Southwest website, click on Tom's Treats, and see a pretty good sampling of the things that we were delivered tonight. If you don't see what you sent tonight, check it out tomorrow. We'll get to it tomorrow. Sometimes we don't get the things until after we've done that.
Gomez with the 0-2 pitch to Hamilton. It's high and away, and it's 1-2. Well, and we have not yet, but we will right now. Thank you everybody who was involved with the auction last night that benefited the Wounded Warrior project. That raised over $219,000. Benefit put on by Fox Sports Southwest and the Texas Rangers. Well, I can thank you very much to everybody. It was such a deal. Hamilton blasts one. There she goes. Goodbye. Number 41 for Josh. 4-0 Texas.
You know, Buzz, we were talking last night. Josh looked like his timing was off a little bit out of sorts. Tonight he swung and missed at some off-speed pitches, behind in the count again in that at-bat. But Gomez just completely wasted 2 pitches. He was trying to get Josh to swing at high fastballs, and he threw both of them over his head. And then, as we said last night, all it takes is one swing of the bat to turn around that feeling. And here comes that swing on a high fastball. And there it goes, halfway up upper deck in the home run porch.
Hamilton, number 41, 2 RBI tonight. Give him 121.
Everything fell into place for that swing.
Even though it's Josh, I still hate that sound.
Well,
that's a different sound, though. When it comes off his bat, it sounds like he's hitting a golf ball.
That one went a long way.
Yeah, it did. Well, here's Adrian, who hit one a long way his first time up. A 2-run blast in the first. And he chops that foul past the Indian dugout. See where this thing lights. Just above that walkway out there. 434 feet is the estimated distance for Hamilton's blow. And Hamilton now, as you can see, a 2-home run lead in the major leagues. Edwin Encarnacion of the Blue Jays is trailing him. Adam Dunn has missed the last 6 ball games, so he's fallen back 1 behind Encarnacion. And Gomez doing a little soul searching, a little thinking, a little grounds keeping out there. Got a lot of thoughts swimming through his head right now, and none of them are probably very positive. Manny Actis seeing his young right-hander give up a couple of blasts here tonight. 2-1 pitch to Beltre. 3-1. A cold hard blast. Adrian Beltre, first time up tonight. Hanging slider, and it went a long way. Line drive that carried into the second row out there over the out-of-town scoreboard. And he takes ball 4 this time. He's aboard with a 2-out walk. That is the first walk issued by Gomez tonight. And Carlos Santana going to go out and have a chat with his 24-year-old right-hander. And Jamie Reed and Ron Washington out there talking with Adrian Beltre. I'm not really sure. It must have been something that happened before, maybe on that swing that he took. I'm not sure. I'm not even going to speculate.
Well, I'm sure what they're saying to him right now is, if you're okay, fine, but if it's questionable, we want you to come out of the game so you don't risk hurting anything and having to be out of the lineup for any extended period of time.
Yep.
So make a smart decision.
Apparently whatever he said to Ron Washington and Jamie Reed convinced them that it's okay. But beyond that, I don't think they were convinced. Well, Beltre staying in the ball game. He is at first. Still 2 outs. And Nelson Cruz stepping to the plate. Cruz out on a fine play by Gomez, in a little tapper. And he hits this one like a rocket, but it's flagged down by the shortstop Lillibridge, who gets the force at second on Beltre. So the side retired, but Josh Hamilton gets the Rangers on the board again. His 41st home run of the year. A run on 1 hit and 1 left. On to the 4th we go. 4-0 Texas. Rangers through the first 3 innings as we head to the top of the fourth. 4-0 Texas. Adrian Beltre, a 2-run home run, his 32nd of the year. That was back in the first. Josh Hamilton hit his 41st of the year. Solo home run in the 3rd inning. Meanwhile, Ryan Dempster has made that stand up, allowing 3 hits through the first 3 innings. And he goes to work throwing a breaking ball on the first pitch to Carlos Santana. It is 0-1. Santana left standing at home plate when Shin-Soo Choo was shot down trying to steal, and he bangs the next pitch into right field for a leadoff single. Let's go to Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, thank you, Buzz. The Frick Award has now moved on to the 2nd round, and John Blake of the Rangers here to explain about this.
Well, Ranger fans did such a great job in getting our guys through the 2nd round. Now Eric Nadel, trying to get him onto that final ballot, one of 3 announcers selected by the fans for that final 10-man ballot for the Fort C. Frick Award, which is the Hall of Fame's big award for baseball announcers. Between now and October 5th, you go to facebook.com/baseballhall, vote for Eric Nadel.
All right, there we go. There's where to go for that. Great. Oh, I got 1 out of 2. Not bad on that, Ian Kinsler. You also had something else you wanted to talk about. Last night's auction, record numbers.
Yeah, I just want to thank the great folks out there in the TV land and Fox Sports Southwest and everybody. Over $200,000 raised last night for the Wounded Warrior Project, and it was very gratifying. And Fox did a great job, Jim, you and Emily and John Radigan and everybody, and we really thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Well, it wouldn't be without the Texas Rangers also helping out. John, thank you, and great job out there, viewers. Over $200,000 last night raised for the Wounded Warriors Foundation. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Well, he ruled a base hit on that hard ground ball up the middle off of Michael Brantley's bat. Almost turned into a spectacular play by Elvis, who tried the backhand flip, but couldn't make an accurate one. He pulled Ian off the bag at second.
Yeah, I think that was the only chance he had. If he tried to flip it with his bare hand, I don't think he would have been able to get it out of his glove and flip it backwards because he was going in the other direction. So he tried to flip it, almost pulled it off.
2 on, nobody out. And Dempster misses outside Russ Kanzler. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just missed it at second base.
You know, we've seen Elvis do that a number of times and complete a great play, but not able to do it there. Kanzler a swing and a miss. It's 1-2 now. The Indians have 5 hits just as the Rangers do, but Ryan Dempster's been able to hold them off the scoreboard as far as the run column goes thus far. But this is the first time they had the first 2 runners aboard in an inning. Back-to-back singles by Santana and Bradley. 1-2 pitch to Kanzler is in the dirt. And that will even things to Russ Kanzler. Kanzler handling the DH chores tonight. One of the September call-ups. Played his entire season at Columbus in the International League. 26-year-old hit .265 down there with 22 home runs in 130 games. Up here, Santana at second, Brantley at first. And another pitch in the dirt. That runs the count full. Good job by Soto to keep that ball in front of him. So Kanzler batting in the 5th slot, trying to get aboard. Lonnie Chisenhall, the Tribe third baseman, is waiting in the on-deck circle. Ryan Dempster toeing the rubber and looking in for the sign from Soto. Payoff pitch. Fouled away.
He fouled off a good pitch, too. That was a strikeout pitch. Slider down and away. Just barely got a piece of it. But it hangs in there, 3-2. Ryan needs to throw a strike with nobody out and a couple of men on. That might not have been a strike.
Yeah.
Going for the strikeout, but he spoiled it.
Let's see if you can get him to roll over on one here and hit a nice double play grounder at somebody. High and tight, and that will load him up with nobody out. Chisenhall coming up, and Mike Maddox going to the mound. Well, for Dempster, that is the first free pass that he has issued tonight. And he's gotten himself into a bit of a pickle here in the fourth inning. Back-to-back base hits started it. A pair of singles. Now the walk on 3-2 to Kanzler. The bases are loaded, and Mike Maddox going out to give Dempster a little break and see if he can't redirect the focus just a bit. Well, fans, the Cowboys Seahawks game is part of Fox NFL Sunday this week. Coverage begins with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show. It comes on at 11 in the morning Central Time. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Now, conference concluded. Rangers will play the infield back at all positions. They will be more than willing to give up the run if they can get a double play grounder from Chisenhall. Ball one is outside. Chisenhall, a base hit to right, his first time to the plate. Third baseman back in the lineup. This is second start since being activated from the disabled list. Had his forearm broken a couple of months ago playing against Baltimore. Hit by a pitch. There's a strike. Dick Arrieta hit him with a pitch and broke the ulnar bone in his right arm. One pitch. Just off the outside corner.
Well, Ryan was just about pinpoint with his pitches in the first inning, but a little bit more of a struggle to make the pitches he's trying to make since then.
The 2-1. That Topper is fouled down the first base side. We'll come back and try it at 2-2. Dempster in his first outing against Cleveland in a Ranger uniform went 6 innings back on the last day of August. That was in Cleveland. He allowed only 2 hits and 1 unearned run in that ball game. 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. Here tonight, just a little bit different story, though. He's given up 5 hits and trying to work around a bases-loaded no-out jam here in the 4th inning. Rangers leading 4-0. The 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging.
That's pitch he's able to make him. Yep, pitch he's able to make in the first inning right there.
5th strikeout for Dempster, and none bigger, though, in the one of Chisenhall with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Yeah, you get that first out, and now you get a ground ball and turn a double play. You get out of the inning without a run being scored. That is a big strikeout. Kochman's a pretty good contact hitter, but also a double play candidate. If he hits the ball on the ground anyway.
He doesn't run real well.
He grounded into 14 double plays.
And he fouls off the first pitch from Dempster. It's 0-1. Kochman lined a single to left field. His first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning. Dempster finished rubbing the new baseball up back on top of the hill, and he's ready to work. Inside corner. 0-2.
You saw that in the first inning too, Buzz. That fastball on the inside corner. But hadn't been able to pinpoint it there since then until that pitch. That was a good fastball. Kochman didn't like the call, but it's touching the inside corner.
Kochman in the top 5 in the American League and most difficult to strike out. And Dempster's got him in a spot where he can make a good pitch. Ooh, his chop foul, and he almost got that ball by him. There is the leaderboard for strikeout rate. Ben Revere, the toughest to strike out, and Kochman and his teammate Michael Brantley in the top 5. Still 0-2. Dempster a long look in. Now he backs off the pitching rubber. And he wants Giovanni Soto to recycle the signs. 1 out, bases full. Nice stop by Soto again. That ball just getting behind him by a foot or so. And the count moves to 1-2. Now Soto going to go out and talk with Dempster, and Dempster wants a new baseball, and Chris Conroy, the home plate umpire, obliges. Soto using that Spike Master 2012 on the backside of the mound to get some of that clay out from between his spikes. Ian Kinsler coming in to talk to the Ranger battery. And Soto back behind the plate. He will get down in that crouch and flash the signs out for Dempster. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Kochman. Santana at third, Bradley at second, Kinsler at first. The pitch on the way. Just missed off the inside corner. And Dempster popping that up there at 92.
Just didn't come back for him.
Now's the pitch that Dempster wants to get Kochman on. He doesn't want to have to go 3-2. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. It's in the dirt. Another splitter, and the count has indeed gone full to Kochman. Dempster now with that pitch total. The next one will be 75 for him on the night. In the last couple of innings, it has skyrocketed a bit. Indians making him work. And now Soto going to go out and have another talk with him. More of a, what do you feel like you want to throw in this spot? So I'm not going through all kinds of signs. There's the pitch by inning breakdown. 24 in the second. He's already gone through 21 here in the 4th inning. Payoff pitch. Up the middle. Elvis backhands to Kinsler. On to first. A wide throw. They can't turn the double play. In to score is Santana. And Ian Kinsler just pulling Moreland off the bag with that wide throw on what would have been an inning double play. But they would have get the second out.
Would have been a spectacular one. Elvis pulls off the same play that he tried to pull off before that. This time he took the ball out of his glove, flipped it with his bare hand. Instead of flipping it with his glove, Ian had to turn, pivot, and throw to first and pulled Mitch off the bag.
So Kochman on via the fielder's choice drives in his 51st run of the year.
I was wondering if Elvis could do that the first time, get the ball into his bare hand and flip it back. There's your answer. He could have. It was almost the exact same play.
Brent Lillibridge swing and a miss. Lillibridge called out on strikes in the second. Runners at first and third here. A run across. Rangers leading 4-1. Back to the screen. And it's 0-2.
Well, bases loaded, nobody out. If you get out of it with 1 run, you're going to be very happy.
Yep.
With a spectacular double play, they could have gotten it out of it with nothing, but on that kind of a ball, you'll take 1 out.
And Ryan Dempster trying to keep it right there, a 1-run inning. 0-2 the count to Lillibridge. Got him swinging. Good slider down and away. Dempster gets out with minimal damage. A run on 2 hits and 2 left. 3.5 in the books. Rangers 4, Indians 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Adrian Beltre talking with Ron Washington. Josh Hamilton kind of lending some moral support, and Ron and Adrian having a pretty animated discussion, or that's about as animated as those two guys get with each other.
Well, Wash is just pleading his case.
Yep. And we'll see what that conversation portends for Adrian's future in this game. Michael Young leading things off here in the fourth inning. Young 0 for 1, a ground ball to short. It'll be Young, Murphy, and Soto against Gomez. Wave and a miss by Young. Good breaking ball. And the count goes to 1-1. Michael 2 out of 6 against Gomez in his career. Two and 1 now the count. Gomez into the wind, and the pitch to Michael. Line toward right center field. That's going to be down for a hit and go to the wall. Young into second base as Brantley gets the ball back in, and Michael, an opposite gap double to start off the Ranger fourth inning.
Well, in yesterday's game, the Rangers kept scoring. The Indians would come back a little bit, get a run. The Rangers would come right back with another one, and hopefully they'll do that, answer the Indians' run at the top of the inning with at least one of their own here in the bottom of the inning. Good start, man on second and nobody out. Got a hot hitting David Murphy up right now. Be trying to pull the ball to the right side of the infield to at least advance Michael over to third base. The way David's been hitting, he'd probably drive it through the infield and bring him home himself.
That's Young's 22nd double of the year. Gets him in scoring position. Rangers in those situations tonight, 2 out of 3. Murph line a single into right center field, his first time to the plate. Next pitch is low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Murphy starting play tonight was 6th in the American League with a .313 average. And you look at his home average, .357. That's the best in the American League. The Rangers have the best team average at home in the American League also. They're up near .290. Breaking ball, Murphy lays off it. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, with first base open, he's pitching carefully to David. The Indians have seen him in the series in Cleveland, and so far in this series, the way he's swinging the bat, they're being careful right here. I don't blame him.
Giovanni Soto waiting in the on-deck circle. And I wouldn't be surprised if Murphy had a green light here on 3-0.
Sure.
Gomez a check of second. Murphy chops one to the right side. Tough hop for Kochman. He plays it very well. Will take it to the bag for the out. And Murphy with that green light gets the job done. On to third base goes Young. He's there with 1 out, and Soto coming up. Now tonight's AT&T trivia question for you. Josh Hamilton is one of 3 Rangers with 100 or more home runs since 2008. That's Josh's first year here in Texas. Who are the other 2? Give you a little time to think about that. We'll have the answer for you shortly. So trailing 4-1, the Indians pull their infield all the way in with Soto up there. And the first pitch way inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Left side of the infield not in quite as far as the right side. You understand with Soto running, you don't have to come all the way to the cut of the grass. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air, deep to left center field. Carrera going back. He's at the track and makes the catch. Young tags, will trot down the line to score from third. And Giovanni Soto, a long sacrifice fly, makes it 5-1 Texas.
He wanted to hit the ball in the air, and he almost hit it in the air all the way into their bullpen. Pick up an extra run, but he did his job. Cleveland scored in the top of the inning. Rangers come right back and answer it in the bottom of the inning. A double. David Murphy moved him over with a good job of pulling the ball. And Soto hits the ball in the air and gets him in.
Now the Rangers scoring 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 more here in the fourth. They put 5 on the board against Gomez, and here's Mitch Moreland with the bases empty. Pitch outside, ball 1. Moreland skied out to left his first time. Huff and Herman the right-hander, up and throwing in the Cleveland bullpen. Ball 2 is down and away. .281 the season average. Now going to have a little conference on the mound as the interim pitching coach Ruben Niebla heads out along with Carlos Santana, the catcher, to talk to Genmar Gomez. Niebla, I'm sure, given the bullpen a little extra time to get loose out there. Gomez had a short outing last time out. Worked only 3 innings against the Twins. Had no decision in that ball game, but came out of the ball game trailing 4-0 after 3 innings. Well, folks, visit MLB.com fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 to this year's World Series game. It's presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Moreland, a drive to left center field, moving back into the alley and making the catch is Michael Brantley. So the side retirement, the Rangers get on the board again. A run on a hit, nobody left. We've finished 4. Rangers 5, Indians 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. AT&T trivia question for tonight. Josh Hamilton, one of 3 Rangers with 100 or more home runs since 2008. Who are the other 2? And the answer would be Nelson Cruz and Ian Kinsler. Nelly with 113, Ian with 106. And as we head to the top of the 5th, glad to have back in the booth the co-host of Rangers Live. That would be Mark McLemore. Matt, glad to have you on. New third baseman, by the way, Mike Old, has come in to take Adrian Beltre's place. What did you see, Mac, from that might have gotten Beltre out of action tonight? Elvis has jumped, thrown. No, not in time. What a play. Mark Carlson right there on top of it, made the call, and Ezekiel Carrera just able to leg it out in Carlson's viewpoint.
I looked out from here, but we're a long way from first base. Excellent play by Elvis. Unfortunately, Carrera, left-hand hitter, got down the line very quickly. And I don't know. Let's see. Out. Got him. Yep, like he nipped him.
Carrera got the benefit of the call there. He is aboard with that leadoff single despite a great play by Elvis Andrews. Now back to the top of the order, Shin-Soo Choo. There goes Carrera. Pitch is high. The throw is a little bit high also, and safe at second base. With the stolen base is Ezekiel Carrera. An infield single, and Carrera his 6th stolen base of the year. In scoring position with nobody out. And Shin-Soo Choo. Anyway, Mac, with Adrian Beltre, the word from down below was a strained left shoulder. What did you see?
Yeah, on the diving play he made back in the second, I think it was top of the second inning. It just looked like he felt kind of awkward going after it, and I think he jammed it on that play there. It looked like, but he definitely did not want to come out of the game. He was pleading his case to Wash, but I'm sure Wash was telling him, "Hey, you're way too valuable to take a chance on leaving you out there. You're not at your best right now. We've got a good lead. We've got some guys who can pick you up. So let's just make sure we take care of it and hopefully get you back out there tomorrow."
It's funny, after he had walked in that inning, and Jamie and Wash had gone out to talk to him at first base. When he went out, he didn't come back to the bench. He waited for the guys to bring his glove. It looked like Elvis and Ian were trying to talk him into getting off the field.
Oh, I bet they were. They know just how valuable he's been.
Yeah.
We look at the last 2 months how he's been playing. Oh yeah, he's extended out there now, putting all that pressure on it right there. That just that's tough to do right there. But he's a gamer. He wants to stay out there. He didn't want to come out of the ball game.
Line drive to left. Murphy in a hurry, can't get there. And checking in at third. Now going home. It started to go home. Carrera has to get back to third. He had put the brakes on. Saw Murphy bobble the ball and decided too late he was going to try it and got back to third.
Let's say this for the Indians. They're putting the pressure on Ryan tonight. Bases loaded, no outs in the 4th, 1st and 3rd now, and no outs here in the 5th. Been a struggle for him really since the 1st inning.
The Indians had 2 hits, albeit with 2 outs in the 2nd. Stranded those 2 men. A hit with 2 outs in the 3rd, and a caught stealing took care of that in the last inning when they scored their run. First 3 men got on board. And Dempster able to limit the damage. And Soto really having his say to Ryan Dempster.
I'm going to show you how quick this kid Carrera is. If you look at Elvis, he's playing a couple steps in because he can run a lot like you play Ichiro. And that, number one, that's why that play is so close. And then shortly after that, very first pitch, he takes off to second. And Soto really had no chance. Dempster wasn't that slow getting to the plate, but Soto had no chance. This kid over here could fly.
And Dempster a little bluff to third and look back to first to see if he can catch anybody sleeping over there. Michael Kirkman, the left-hander, up and throwing in the Ranger bullpen. Jason Kipnis, the hitter, is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and flied to left field. Carrera at third, Chu at first. And Dempster's first pitch is down and away for ball 1. So 7 hits now for Cleveland. All of them have been singles. Nonetheless, this ball club spraying the ball all over the ballpark. Dempster okays the sign. He's ready to work. And he will go first base way. A team like Cleveland this time of year, things have been going terrible. Is this not the good kind of team is this a bad kind of team to play if you're trying to close out a pennant drive, or would you rather have guys that are struggling like that? To right field. Here comes Cruz, tagging at third, bluffing a move toward the plate as Cruz uncorks a missile.
He had a perfect ball to throw on right there. It was a line drive that was easy to time. He's coming forward, and as fast as Carrera is, he wasn't going to take a chance on that arm.
He could fly, but he's not.
No,
he can't fly that fast.
He can't outrun that one. He would have been out too.
That's a 95-mile-an-hour heater from the right field.
I love seeing that.
Well, Kitten has hit the ball hard. Fortunately for the Rangers, it was right at Nelson Cruz.
The one out, runner still at the corners. Here's Carlos Santana, who is 1 for 2. Anyway, do you worry at all about playing a team like Cleveland this time of year if you're the Rangers?
I think you have to be careful when you play a team like Cleveland, because you have a tendency to say, okay, they're in last place. You know, they're not having a good year. Guys are counting down the days so they can go home. And you start to lose a little bit of focus, and you can lose that edge a little bit when you're playing a team like this. But they're not going to lose that edge. They want to come out and they want to be spoilers.
Hamilton got a late break. It's a shallow fly ball. Carrera this time is coming. The throw is not in time. It's cut off by Moreland. And Carrera able to score. It's now a 5-2 Ranger lead. Had Josh not broken bat first, had he gotten a good jump in, you would have seen a throw much like Cruz made, but Josh couldn't get himself in position to make a good throw that time.
Right. It was a little tough for him because he was on the move catching the ball and then trying to get his feet underneath him. So he didn't have enough time to really get set. He just had to catch it and throw it. But if he had an opportunity to get set like Nelson did, it would have been a much better throw and probably had a chance at play at the plate at least.
Well, the sac fly, and Santana drives in his 65th run of the year. Ranger lead now back down to a 3 spot, and with 2 outs, here's Michael Brantley. And Dempster paying close attention to Chu, who has very good speed at first. Chu, by the way, thrown out trying to steal to end the 3rd inning. Brantley, an infield single. 1 for 2 tonight. And hitting at 285. Knee-high strike. Dempster about ready to throw his 89th pitch of the night here in the 5th inning. Fly ball right field. Cruz going back. He's at the track, at the wall, and he makes the catch as he bumps into the padding. And Ryan Dempster saying something walking off the mound with less than a pleased expression on his face, but damage limited to 1 halfway through the ball game. Rangers leading 5-2. Is brought to you by McDonald's $1 drink menu. 1991, 21 years ago on this date, Nolan Ryan defeats the Twins 4-3, his 10th win of the 91 season. And this was Nolan's 20th season of 10 or more wins. 20 years of 10 or more wins. And there you see the all-time leaders. Don Sutton with 21 years of 10 or more wins. And Greg Maddux and Nolan Ryan, both with 20. Greg Maddux, I believe it's 16 years of 15 wins or more that he had in his Hall of Fame career.
I don't know. Is that good?
Not bad. Not bad. I think it shows that you were sent out there a lot of times.
A little consistency?
Yeah, a lot of consistency. That's like Fergie Jenkins winning 20 games 6 years in a row.
Incredible.
That is consistency. David Huff, the left-hander, is on now to take over for Jenmar Gomez, and he deals to the top of the order. It's Ian Kinsler. 1 ball, no strikes.
So, Buzz, with guys having feats like that in the past, do you think we'll ever see that again?
Some of the numbers, Mac, I think we'll see it, but it won't have as much to do with longevity. And so it's hard to, I think, compare when you say, 20 years of 10-plus wins. We're not going to see that anymore, I don't think. I don't think you're going to see anybody who is able to pitch that. And part of it's because the medical advances, they're finding out things that are wrong with you that older guys never even cared about. They just went in and pitched. Now they shut you down for a month or two, and it's great for the pitcher. I mean, it prolongs your career span or your making money span, but it doesn't prolong the amount of time you can help a ball club and win games.
Another factor is to find a player or a pitcher who can continue to be motivated after 20 years in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Because if you play that long, you've made a lot of money. And whether or not you can stay motivated when you've got $100 million in the bank to continue to work and stay in shape and battle and be competitive, to go out and do that is another story. That's what separated Nolan from everybody else.
Yep.
He never lost the will to compete at that level.
Off balance throw by Lillibridge. He gets Kinsler by a step and a half. That is out number 1, and Elvis Andrus coming up. Now let's head back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's Leslie McCaslin. Leslie? All right, Leslie, thank you. 1 out here in the Ranger half of the 5th inning. They're leading 5-2. Elvis Andrus at the plate, 1 out of 2 tonight. And David Huff's first pitch is a strike. There's the AL Central standings. White Sox and Tigers separated by a couple of games. Tigers trying to make that a little more interesting. Pretty good bunt by Elvis. Huff has no chance. He picks it up, sticks it in his back pocket. And Elvis Andrus with a bunt base hit. His second safety of the night.
It's a great bunt by Elvis going the other way, knowing the left-hander is going to be falling to third base. It's going to be tough, even if he hadn't slipped, to get over there, right there on the line. That's the perfect spot, because now, even if he gets it, how does he throw it? He's got to spin to throw it or do a little flip. That's just not going to be fast enough to get Elvis.
Once his left leg came down and over and landed, he was done.
Elvis second in the league in infield singles behind Derek Jeter. The ageless one, Derek Jeter. Pitch is low to Josh Hamilton. Hamilton homered his last time up. Solo blast, 434 feet. Trying to remodel the upper home run porch, and just about did it. The play that Elvis just had, is that something that's talked about in hitters' meetings before a ball game? Or is that just Elvis and, say, Gary Pettis or Ron Washington talking about that one-on-one?
I definitely think it's the three of them talking about it and knowing, okay, we've got a left-hander. How far off does he fall? Mm-hmm. Those are all things that you get in the scouting report, which way he leans, all of those things. And I'm sure Gary has worked with Elvis on his bunting over the years. But Elvis has it perfected, and that's probably right there. That's probably just Elvis saying, okay, we've got him in here. Let me get on and start something right now.
Hamilton takes it in. Time for the AT&T U-Burst reverse replay. Here it was last time up. Mac, I know I've told Tom. Have I ever told you I hate that sound?
I bet you do. We all know what that sound means. Get another one.
Yeah. Have the umpire throw it to you while the guy's running around the bases so you got something to do. That pitch chop foul outside first, and it's 2-2. Every time we have a replay of a home, I remind Tom of that. We're trying to get the guys in the production truck to kind of tone that down, get a muffler.
Turn it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Show the replay without the sound.
Yeah.
Now,
or just that sound.
Now, did you like having to wait for the batter to get all the way around across home plate before the umpire gave the ball?
No. I was halfway to home plate begging for the thing. I wanted that ball so I could just get it out of my hand as quick as I could. Some umpires wouldn't give it to you.
Right.
Some umpires will make you wait until you crossed home plate. And
Wow. Well, there's a way to avoid that, Buzz.
Yeah.
Don't throw that gopher ball up there in the first place. Make the bat miss the ball. You won't hear anything.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And it was that simple, and nobody ever told me that. That's what it was.
Tom, that's how you used to hit him, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Batting practice.
You got it batting practice. I
could hit at 6 o'clock.
Oh, God. I wish I could.
Payoff pitch. And Hamilton gone on strikes. High fastball. And Huff able to get it by him. So 2 away. And Mike Holt now will step in for his first at-bat of the evening. Holt took over.
I could still hear Gaylord Perry shagging balls in the outfield when I'm taking batting practice. What time is it? What time is it?
Holt, a 133 hitter as he faces David Huff. Ripping a miss.
I remember a game Huff pitched against us 2 or 3 years ago in Cleveland where he completely shut us down for 7 or 8 innings. He looked great. Been up and down in the minor leagues since then, though.
Pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by Santana. And Michael Kirkman, the left-hander out in the Ranger bullpen, continuing to throw. We'll see if that has any relevance as we begin the 6th inning. After the Rangers are finished hitting here. Ryan Dempster closing in on 95 pitches for the night. Huff to first base, and Andrews back. Holt still looking for his first major league home run. He has driven in 5. And a little better move this time by Huff. And again, Elvis drawing that snap throw.
Now, one of the things Elvis is doing right now is he's making Huff give him his A move so he knows what his best move is.
Doesn't look too worried about it either.
No, he doesn't.
Inching off like that.
I've heard some pretty good base stealers talk about reading a left-hander. They say for most left-handers it was easier reading them than it was right-handers as far as their pickoff move to first. Did you find that to be true, or did you not?
I didn't find that true at all. I found that if I waited around to read a left-hander, I was not going to run. It was just too long. I would go on first move, and that was pretty much it. I figure out what his A move is, what his best move is, and usually it would be different. There were guys that were really tough. They separated their moves. Andy Pettitte comes to mind.
Old gone, and Elvis stranded after the bunt single. Matt, thanks for joining us. We'll be sure and tune you in on Rangers Live after the ball game.
Sounds good.
5-2 Texas as we head to the 6th inning.
And Rangers leading the innings 5-2. Buzz and Tom, special guests here. Joe Paul Shirley. I tell you what, this guy's been a busy guy since April 1st, toured all the ballparks, and he's here tonight. The end of the journey has happened. It's finally here at Rangers Ballpark. What was this all about?
This was in honor of my wife, who passed away last fall from MS. I did as a tribute to her to raise money for MS research, and also just to go visit my favorite baseball. You know, I love baseball, and I want to visit all the parks and see the United States. And also, one of the things I did was I attended Mass every Sunday and had a special relationship with churches all throughout the United States also.
And you took the tour on what, a Honda?
I did the tour on a Honda Goldwing that I was on for the first 10,000 miles of my tour. And then I switched over in a car in Rochester, New York, because I needed to because of a couple of medical reasons and the heat.
All right, well, Easy Rider, after all these ballparks, this is the final one. Which stands above the rest, you think?
Unfortunately, I have to say Chase Field, my first park, was outstanding. My favorite park, as far as attending games, and my favorite team is the Texas Rangers, of course.
All right, well, happy endings there. Congratulations on the big journey, and continued success.
I've had great success, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Buzz.
All right, Jim, thank you.
Nice tribute to his wife.
That's very nice.
And a ball that comes back and catches the outside corner and surprises Russ Kanzler for strike 3.
That is strikeout number 7 for Ryan Dempster tonight. And now with one gone, the first pitch to Lonnie Chisenhall is fouled away the other way. 0-1. Chisenhall singled to right in the second inning and struck out in the fourth inning. On the inside corner, Ryan Dempster, whatever was ailing him the last couple of innings, he has appeared to have made the corrections, because he is right back to where he was early in the ball game. It's firing to both sides of the strike zone with equal efficiency. That pitch fouled out of play.
Well, Ryan's trying to finish strong. He's at 95 pitches, trying to get through the 6th inning, have a good 6th inning, finish it off. Michael Kirkman is warmed up in the bullpen in case Wash needs to go to the bullpen. Last couple of innings have been a little bit of a struggle, but he's pitched out of jams and actually done a good job to only give up those 2 runs. But first and third last inning and nobody out. Bases loaded the inning before that and nobody out. So actually pitched very well after getting himself in a jam. And now I'm sure would love to have a quick 1-2-3 inning. That'll help.
Swing and a miss, and that's back-to-back strikeouts. 8 this evening in 5 2/3 for Dempster. It's that split finger again, that split-fingered fastball, that really diving at the last second. So 2 gone. Here's Casey Kochman. Kochman 1 for 2, a single and a fielder's choice ground out that resulted in a run. Shallow right center field, and coming on to take charge is Josh Hamilton. A very quick and easy inning for Ryan Dempster. 1, 2, 3 and out are the Indians. 5.5 in the books. Rangers 5, Indians 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. It's time for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $800 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Andrea Davis from Seymour. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during the inning, Andrea Davis of Seymour will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. And some guys that are very capable of driving one out of here. Cruz, Young, and Murphy, the first 3 to face the left-hander David Huff here in the 6th inning. Rangers leading 5-2. Hits are even in this ball game at 7. And Cruz a drive. Deep center field. Back is Brantley. He is at the wall, reaches up, and makes the catch. Oh, Andrea Davis of Seymour thought we had you some money and a nice dinner at Sonic. But Michael Brantley taking it right off the top of the wall.
In this series so far, in a game and a half, the Rangers have hit some balls to the outfield. You talked, Buzz, about the 2 that David Murphy hit yesterday. Soto's hit one today. Cruz has hit another one today. And there's been other balls. They've been running the outfielders all over this park making plays. Carrera yesterday ran about 2 miles chasing down fly balls.
Brantley timing that pretty well. And Cruz coming up maybe 1.5 feet short. Pitch to Michael Young is a strike. And it's 0-2. Young, a double and a run scored in the 4th inning. 1 out of 2 this evening. Huff into the wind. The left-hander deals. Gets Young back off the plate. And evens or makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hard hit ball up the middle, but shortstop Lillibridge bobbles, throws low, and it's dug out nicely by Kochman. Pretty fancy work by both Lillibridge to recover, and Kochman to snag on that 1-hop throw.
Kochman has picked a couple of balls today, made a nice play on a hard hit ground ball by David Murphy, who took a little tricky hop on it.
Ford leaderboard will show you the American League leaders for on-base percentage. And right there in the number 4 position. David Murphy at 394. Trailing Trout, Fielder, Joe Mauer, still the league leader. And here's Murph, who is 1 out of 2 tonight. Hits that ball hard, and his by Kipnis.
You talk about a rocket.
And it's going to the wall. Murphy not stopping at second. He is headed for third, and he is in standing.
That's an amazing triple right there.
It is.
He hit that ball so hard that Kipnis couldn't catch it, and so hard that it rolled right by the outfielders all the way to the wall for a triple. Now that is a rope. Chu thought he was going to be able to cut this ball off. He didn't even come close to catching that ball. Chu went after it like he thought he could catch it, had a bad angle, then had to chase it.
Well, Murphy at third base now with 2 outs, and Soto takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. And it's going to be a 3-base hit for David Murphy. He is 2 out of 3 and continues to pummel left-handed pitching this year. He is the league leader in average against left-handers coming into tonight.
He's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. He had a line drive up the middle, hard hit ground ball, solidly hit ground ball to first base. And that was the hardest of the 3, the triple. I don't know what that did to Kipnis, but he didn't come within a foot of that ball.
Well, it's a good thing he was off to the side. If that had hit him, it would have buried him right there.
Poor kid. I'm sure he's thinking that too.
Murphy came into the game hitting .381 against left-handers. And a chopper to third that sidearmed over to first by Chisenhall, and that'll do it. No, the 2-out triple by Murphy goes for naught. Rangers strand their 3rd runner of the game. We're going to 7th inning. It's the Rangers 5, the Indians 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by Geico Insurance. 15 minutes to save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. And by Burger King. Come play family food where every game piece has a prize. Now, Ryan Dempster, who was maybe within 1 hitter of being taken out of the ball game back in the 5th inning, proceeded to go out and have a 1-2-3-6. He's back out there for the 7th. Pitch count 1 click shy of 190. Will face Brent Lillibridge to start things off. Number 8 hitter to be followed by Ezekiel Carrera and then Shin-Soo Choo. The first ball swinging, Lillibridge skies to center field.
Those middle 2 innings, it seemed like every swing they took resulted in a base hit somewhere. They were finding holes, and now they're swinging and missing and popping them up pretty quickly.
Let's head down to Emily Jones, Em.
Well, guys, a couple of notes on the injury front. We will start with the not so good news. Mike Adams unavailable for a couple of days. He's experiencing some soreness, I should say, up around this area. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, and I don't want to attempt to butcher the medical field. So soreness right here, just being put down for a couple of days, not available out of the bullpen. Good news on the injury front. Mike Napoli with a 2-run home run for the Frisco Rough Riders as they lead 4-0. It looks as if everything goes well. Nap will be back with the big club probably by the weekend.
All right, Emily, thank you. Another bunt attempt by Carrera, and that ball foul as Mike Old comes down the line. And speaking of Old and third base, Adrian Beltre, the news he's going to have a precautionary MRI done on his left shoulder. That's the reason for Mike Old, for you folks that are joining us a little bit late. Old in the ball game at third base for Adrian Beltre. Beltre had a first inning 2-run home run to get the Rangers off on the right foot here tonight. Carrera 1 out of 2. A pitch chopped down the first base line, softly hit to Moreland right by the bag. That is out number 2.
Well, it'd be great if Ryan can get this next hitter. He will retire 9 straight to end the game. After struggling a little bit in the middle innings with his command, he's come back strongly and retired 8 straight. A great way to finish through 7 innings.
Yeah, you bet.
He's only at 103 pitches.
But
he's a veteran guy, Buzz, and he just figured it out, didn't he?
Yep. Well, I'm sure there's some adjustments. Mike Maddox has been with him now long enough, and there's another first pitch out as Chu skies to medium deep left center field. A 5-pitch inning for Ryan Dempster. He sends the Indians down 1-2-3. He's now retired 9 straight. It's stretch time at the ballpark. Rangers 5, Indians 2 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Take me out.
Is going to show you who is on the hill tomorrow to be Zach McAllister. Taking the mound for the Cleveland Indians. Derek Holland, the left-hander, going after victory number 11. That'll be the final game of this 3-game series, and Rangers hoping to make it for the sweep as they lead 5-2 here tonight, having won 6-4 in last night's opener. Mitch Moreland to start things off. Moreland then back to the top of the order for Kinsler and Andrews. Mitch trying to butt his way aboard, butts it back to the screen. It's 0-1. Moreland tonight, couple of fly balls. One's to left, one's to center. Facing the left-hander, David Huff. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moreland in the regular season has never faced Huff. He Probably has faced him in spring training. 1-1 pitch. Rip and a miss. Huff, the 27-year-old left-hander out of San Diego. He was the sandwich pick, 39th overall pick by the Indians. Orland fouls the next pitch back. That was in the 2006 draft. Up a long look in. Now the left-hander goes to the wind, and the pitch ripped out and missed. Well, Moreland gone on strikes. And let's head back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a Mazda game break with Leslie McCaskill. Leslie. All right, Leslie, thank you. Really up to the moment standings in the AL East, Baltimore and New York tied, and with the Yankees leading, and Baltimore is tied up with Tampa Bay as they play in Baltimore. Then a 2-2 game. Kinsler a rocket up the middle. That's a base hit. He in a big turn at first. He will slam on the brakes and head back to the bag. Ball comes back in quickly, but Kinsler with his second hit tonight. He's 2 for 4 now. One out single has him aboard for Elvis Andrus.
And that's what all aggressive base runners do. You see Beltre do it. You see all the Rangers do it. You hit a base hit to the outfield. You go as hard as you can to first base. Take a wide turn. You sense you've got a chance. You've got a chance to. Then it gives you a chance to get to second. And if not, you put on the brakes and go back. That's definitely encouraged by Gary Pettis. He not only coaches the outfielders, coaches the base runners, and coaches first base.
Elvis takes a pitch inside, jackknifing out of the way of that one from David Huff. Elvis a couple of hits tonight. Last time up, he bunted his way aboard against Huff. Back in the first inning, he got an early hit tonight to extend his hitting streak to 31 games. All the career games that he's played against the Cleveland Indians. Breaking ball from Huff. That drops in and over. And just underway out in Anaheim. Oakland, who has won the first 2 games of that series against the Angels, out to an early 1-0 lead.
Well, the Angels went into Oakland and swept them 3 straight. Oakland's coming in trying to do the same thing to them. They've got 4 games. They've got another game tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. Playing tomorrow afternoon.
Angels had a chance to win that game last night. Blew a great opportunity to at least tie the game.
Yeah, Grant Balfour tried to give the Angels every opportunity and was taken out after giving up 2 walks and 2 hits in the 9th inning with a 6-3 lead. Gary Blevins came on and had a big strikeout and a huge double play. Kinsler at first, drawing the attention of David Huff. 1 on, 1 out, a 1-1 count to Elvis Andrus. And the pitch on the way. That's high. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Elvis with the average now up to 297. Up a long look at first, and he will go that way with a toss. And David Huff drawing the ire of some fans. Left-hander readies himself again. Changeup blowing outside. 3 balls and a strike. Oh, Elvis trying to get aboard here with one out to push Kinsler along. Josh Hamilton waiting in that on-deck circle. The 3-1 pitch. High ball 4. And that puts runners at first and second for Hamilton. That is the first walk issued tonight by David Huff. Carlos Santana walking back to the mound with his left-hander and discussing what they want to do with Hamilton. Now, Ruben Niebla, the interim pitching coach, is going to go out and join that conversation. Rangers tonight have 5 runs on 9 hits. They have left only 3 aboard. The Indians 2 runs on 7 hits. They have stranded 5. Now let's take a look at the Brown Hand Center great hands of the game back in the second inning. Adrian Beltre on a smash off the bat of Russ Kanzler. Watch this. Oh, a great play by Beltre, and unfortunately for him and for the Rangers, that play is one he jammed his left shoulder on, so he's gone for a precautionary MRI, and he's in the on-deck circle. He will follow Hamilton to the plate. But Josh in there now as the conference is finished on the mound. Esmail Rogers, hard-throwing right-hander, getting loose out of the Indian bullpen. Hamilton trying to go the other way, it appeared, and fouled it straight back. With runners at first and second, the Indians don't go into an extreme overshift. They do have Lillibridge, the shortstop, stationed 2 or 3 steps to the third base side of second and up a couple of steps. Right behind Ian Kinsler there at the bottom of your screen. The 0-1 pitch. And it's 0-2. In the third inning, Josh Hamilton off Genmar Gomez. Well, he got a high fastball that was in a hittable location, and boy did he hit it. Home run number 41.
Yeah, Josh really looks a little bit out of sync last night and tonight, except for that one swing of the bat.
He is gone. That very odd looking at bat for Josh Hamilton with runners in scoring position.
Well, that's what the Indians were trying to do to him when he hit the home run, is throw a high fastball, but Gomez threw it even higher than that. Never a tempting pitch.
Well, Manny Acta on his way to the mound. David Huff will be finished for the night with the right-hander Old coming to the plate. Acta wants the right-hander Rogers to come in and face him. Now the Rangers have a couple aboard with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. A pitching change underway. Texas leading 5-2 on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers ballpark overlooks center field, giving you an unparalleled view, I should say, from the lower level. This modern venue serves as a party suite for over 100 guests. And individual all-inclusive tickets are available for games this homestand starting at only $100. Visit TexasRangers.com/batterseye for details. Right-hander Esmail Rogers on in relief now. The right-hander out of the Dominican Republic came over from the Colorado Rockies on June 13th of this year. The Indians sending a little bit of cash Colorado's way, and Rogers has been a pretty good find for the Indians.
He's a guy you take a chance on because he's got a good pitcher's body. He throws hard. Got a lot of potential.
First pitch to Mike Olt is a fastball strike. Olt on to replace Adrian Beltre, as we were telling you. Struck out in his only time at bat tonight. That was against Huff back in the 5th inning. Kinsler at second, Andrus at first. Ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Kipnis. And he will hold the Rangers to one base advantage, but he saved a run. And he cost Mike Olt an RBI.
Something happened to Olt. I don't know if he pulled a hamstring or twisted his ankle or his calf, but he was hobbling when he got to first base.
Kevin Harmon out there to check on Mike Olt along with Ron Washington. Now, it'll be an infield single for the young man and load the bases for Nelly Cruz.
Thought off the bat that might sneak up the middle for a base hit.
Jurickson Profar now will, much to the delight of the home crowd here, get their first look at him come in as a pinch runner for Mike Olt. So Profar on as a pinch runner. It'll be interesting to see what the Rangers do defensively. We're going to look at Kipnis making that dive and keeping the ball on the infield. And about halfway down to first base, Mike Olt really pulled up.
Looked like it might have been, well, I don't know. It didn't look like a hamstring, so it's either a calf or Achilles tendon. Didn't look like he twisted his ankle. Definitely grabbed him halfway to the bag, though.
Nelly Cruz at the plate, and strike one to him. Profar at first now. Andrus at second. Kinsler at third. Cruz, his last time up, sent the center fielder Brantley all the way to the wall. Brantley able to pull in a long drive off the bat of Cruz. Rogers back to the plate, and the right-hander misses low and outside. 1-1. Cruz waiting on that familiar wide open stance. Ooh, had a pitch to rip there and fouled it straight back. And Tom, as you've said a lot of times, that's pretty much a sign that of a guy that's in a slump. When he gets a good pitch to hit, he fouls it back, even though he puts a pretty good swing on it.
Yeah, you know, I guess it's a matter of how regularly you do that. But I know as a hitter, you feel like you take a great swing and miss it like that. It can be a frustrating thing.
Breaking ball call, strike three. And Rogers dropping a dandy in against Cruz, and the Rangers leave the bases loaded in the 7th inning on a hit, on a couple of hits and a walk. 5-2 Texas as we head to the 8th inning. by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. And by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo, a no-nonsense burger, fries, and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. Well, some imagination used by Ron Washington. Ian Kinsler now has moved from second to third as Jurickson Profars enter the ball game to take over at second base. And a new center fielder for the Rangers. That would be that's Elvis. He's over at short still. There's Craig Gentry. Gentry's coming to the game, take over in center field.
I don't know if there's anything wrong with Josh, but he didn't look right tonight. Even though he hit that home run, he just didn't look comfortable at the plate. Players like a little variety.
Yeah. This will be his first time at playing anything besides second base defensively. And Ron Washington said, well, it's time. It's time we broke you in over there, Ian.
He came up as a shortstop in the minor leagues, so he's been on the left side of the infield, at least in the minor leagues, and as an amateur. So if someone's got to play third base, it's better Ian. At least he's got some experience, as opposed to Profar, who's pretty much just learning how to play second base.
Pitch to Kipnis from the new pitcher for the Rangers, Koji Uehara. Koji, you remember, came in last night, pitched one batter, gave up a single to the pinch hitter Kochman and was removed. So on here tonight with a 5-2 lead. And the pitch to Kipnis is a knee-high strike. And runs the count to 1-2. The Ryan Dempster, 7 very good innings of work tonight as he retired the last 9 straight. Ran into a few problems in the third and fourth, but was able to keep the damage to a minimum. Swinging, strike 3. Kipnis gone on the high fastball from Uehara.
Koji came into last night's game and hung a splitter to Casey Kochman, who ripped it up the middle for a base hit. That was his only batter. I'm sure he's glad to get back out there. Adams is not available for the 8th inning. So it's a good opportunity for Koji.
The 1 gone, and here is Carlos Santana, the switch hitting catcher. First pitch from Koji, a rip and a miss.
Think he was looking for a fastball? Broke his back swinging at that one.
He's just trying to stretch out a little bit.
Well, he's loose.
Yeah, he is loose. Santana, 1 for 2 officially. He's had a single. He's also had a sacrifice fly. And he skies this one to shallow right center field. Profar going out. Now giving way to Nelly Cruz, who makes the call. And hey, kid, get out of the way. I'm coming in.
Let the veteran catch it, kid.
Well, that is out number 2.
Whatever happens out there, one thing you can count on, Profar will smile at it.
Yep. Yeah, between he and Elvis, I don't think there's ever going to be a play without a smile by one of them, at least.
Yeah, and you might as well add Beltre to that list.
Beltre too, yeah. 2 away for Michael Brantley. Strike from Koji, knee-high outside part of the plate. Brantley, an infield single, and other than that, fly ball and a ground out. Uehara back to the plate. Got him on the fist. And that is fought off foul. It's 0-2. Koji, the 37-year-old from Osaka, Japan. Missed significant time with that lat muscle strain that right under his right shoulder. 0-2 pitch. In the air, center field. Not hit very deep. On comes Gentry. And it's a very quick and tidy 1-2-3 8th inning for Uehara. Indians are gone. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Rangers 5, the Indians 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. Runs 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th, and our Coors Light freeze cam tonight focuses on a great gate save by Ryan Dempster. Deflects that shot off the bat of Carrera right over to Adrian Beltre. Beltre, thank you very much. I'll get an assist on that too. So that's our freeze cam shot for tonight. Now you figure a guy that grows up in Canada knows how to play a little goalie, and Ryan Dempster showing you some pretty good footwork there. Chris Perez, the closer for the Indians, on in relief here to get an inning of work in this 5-2 Ranger lead of the game. Numbers on Perez: 35 saves and 39 opportunities this year. We'll face Michael Young to start off the Ranger 8th inning. Young 1 for 3. He has grounded a short twice, and sandwiched in between those groundouts was a double to center field. Didn't mean to do it. He tried to check his swing and couldn't stop. 1-1. Young 1 for 3 against Perez in his career, and that one happens to be a home run. 1-2. Perez dropping down a little bit on Michael. Rangers have 10 hits tonight. Two and two now. I say that seems like it's been forever since the Rangers had 10 hits in a ball game. And you go back to Kansas City with those games in Tampa Bay, the offense pretty well throttled by the Rays. Line drive, and Kipt is to his right, able to haul that in for out number 1. Folks, we'd like to invite you to tune in each Saturday morning at 10 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest for Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. Visit www.hometownkids.tv for more information. And David Murphy next to face Chris Perez, fouls off the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Murph 2 out of 3 tonight. He is singled and tripled. So David now back up to .315 with the average. And a breaking ball to work with, and fouled it straight back. It's 0-2. Murphy, like Young, 1 out of 3 against Chris Perez. Right-hander reading the signs. Now he's ready to go. Pretty good fastball, and Murphy able to stay alive. Looking out into the Ranger bullpen at right center field. A familiar sight out there as he's tuning up for the 9th inning. And Murphy, a 3-hit night as he slaps one right through the middle.
Well, David is in such a nice hitting mode right now that if he gets a good pitch to hit, he can turn on it with authority. And if it's a tough pitch to hit, he's just putting the bat on the ball. It's not like he's getting blue pits. This is not an Ichiro streak. He's hitting line drives, boy, all over the ballpark.
Couple singles and a triple. And he's aboard with 1 out. Giovanni Soto, who is 0 for 2, but has a sacrifice fly. Faces Perez, and he grounds one cut off by the third baseman Chisenhall. He starts an around the horn double play. Soto hit it hard, but Chisenhall made a nice play to start that twin killing. Rangers gone in the 8th. It's Joe Nathan time as we head to inning number 9. Rangers leading 5-2 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Ninth inning, leading the Indians 5-2. Buzz and Tom, time for the Rangers fans of the game. It has to be the Sutherland family of 7, come all the way in from Waxahachie, but I tell you, they range from 10 months old to 12 years old. And Jason and Rochelle, you guys got to be really tired. These guys got school tomorrow. They got baths. I'm standing on poopy diapers. You love the Rangers. It was well worth it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're having a great time.
All right, there we go. You got anything to say, big guy?
Thank you, Ryan Day, for taking me to the game, and go Rangers!
There we go. All right. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'll close this out for a win for you, okay? All right, there we go. Buzz.
All right, gotta love that guy.
Yeah. So Joe Nathan on 30 consecutive saves for the 37-year-old right-hander, 32 saves for the year. And he has answered every single question you could possibly pose about whether he could come back from Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. He has just been outstanding. Came in last night, got the save, and he starts off facing Russ Kanzler here in the top of the 9th inning and fires strike 1.
You know, the reality is, Buzz, that as well as he's done this year, he may never have been better than he is right now.
I agree.
You know, he's got the best streak he's ever had. He's only blown 1 save, and that was, I'm not sure what the date was, early in April. His fastball has been 92 to 96. All his pitches are working. He's been healthy. He's been durable. He's pitched back-to-back days. I mean, at 37 years old, this is everything and more, I think, than you could have asked for with Joe. But Rangers did a good scouting job. They watched him at the end of last season when he had plenty of time to come back from his injury. He was throwing the ball great, so not a surprise to the scouts who watched him pitch at the end of the year and recommended him. Rangers were confident they were getting an excellent reliever.
1-2 pitch. See you later. Kanzler caught admiring that pitch from Nathan, and he is the first out here in the 9th inning. Joe gets a strikeout, and now will be Lonnie Chisenhall. Nathan last night came in and struck out Cord Phillips to start the 9th inning. And you got Carrera and Shin-Soo Choo to finish things off. A 1-2-3 9th, and he's looking for the same here tonight. Chisenhall 1 for 3. First pitch to him is sliced down to play on the left side back into the club level of seats. It's 0-1. Nathan okays the sign. To the wind he goes. And this is low and in. That will even the count. A ball and a strike to Chisenhall. Nathan's 1-1. And that's out of play to the left. You had word out of the Ranger dugout that Josh Hamilton left the game with soreness in his left knee tonight. The Rangers losing 3 players this evening. Beltre and Holt, and now Hamilton due to injuries. We don't know the severity of them. It didn't look as though it were anything terribly serious. We will let you know if we find out more. Can I help you, sir? Not just looking. We'll see you later. Second strikeout. So Nathan back-to-back punch-outs.
Yeah, pretty good relief pitching tonight. Koji 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Nathan 2 strikeouts. We just loved the way that Ryan Dempster ended the game with 9 straight outs. There's been 14 straight for the Rangers after the Indians mounted a few little rallies in the middle of the ball game. Not much late in the ball game though.
Kochman takes a breaking ball strike, and the crowd of 36,001 on hand here tonight, and they are on their feet. Rangers have set an all-time attendance mark with that crowd, over 2,960,000. Chopper behind first. Moreland will take it himself, and the Rangers make it 2 in a row. Joe Nathan back-to-back saves. as Ryan Dempster wins his 5th consecutive ball game. The Rangers win this, the final 5-2 tonight, and they will come back and look for the sweep here tomorrow night. So Joe Nathan, 31 consecutive saves, 33 saves on the year. David Murphy, a 3-hit night, and home runs by Beltre and Hamilton power the Rangers to their 2nd straight win over Cleveland. And the Rangers now have won 85 ball games. They are a season high 28 games over 500, 85 and 57. And here's how it ended.
Well, that's pretty good pitching at the end of that ball game. Well, count the 5th inning, because after a single by Chu, it was 3 up, 3 down. Last 5 innings, basically, 15 up and 15 down. Great finish to the start by Ryan Dempster. After a little bit of a struggle in the middle, he finished strong.
Let's head down to Jim Knox, who has a very hot David Murphy with him.
Exactly right, Buzz. David, 3 for 4 tonight, seeing the ball extremely well.
That off day felt good the other day. It was good to kind of relax and refresh ourselves and, come out and win 2 games.
Now, since the All-Star break, you've been hitting .350. Can you pinpoint the reason for the success?
Just getting comfortable, and I don't know, once you find a groove as a hitter and you're able to stay with it, things kind of slow down a little bit. The ball looks bigger. So I guess I've just been able to be a little bit more consistent than I have in years past.
Right now, Cleveland, of course, they're last in the American League division. But right when you guys go up against teams like that, you're in the stretch drive right now. No time to think about that. This is a pennant race going on.
We don't care who we're playing right now. We need wins. That's the bottom line. And, we shouldn't raise or lower our level of play depending on who we play. They're a big league team, and if we don't take anybody seriously, they can come out and beat us. So, we're just going to focus on winning games.
There we go, David. Congratulations. It's a big night. Appreciate the time, Buzz.
All right, Jim. Thanks very much. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by the Built Ford Tough Truck Event. Enjoy huge savings on America's best-selling truck for 35 years running. Ford is the best in Texas. Well, again, the final 5-2. Dana Larson, Mark McLemore will be back to wrap things up from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.